What's happening, Blue Noses? What's your thoughts on this week then? So it's been another crazy week. So just thought we'd upload a quick video. Just catching up and catching our breath with everything that's been going on this week. So I'm gutted about this one, to be honest. So Alfie May obviously transferred to Huddersfield for reported 1.2 million. So again, I'm absolutely gutted. I think he could have offered something in the Championship. I mean, he got 16 goals last season, which is not to be sniffed at, but I know the levels, in the competition is much different. But he's a likeable guy, and he must have been great around the dressing room. His chances in the first team was limited, so I think when we're looking through the team, he was probably one of the ones that you'd be looking, probably to move off on loan. But, a player of his age, he needs to be playing really, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? So, 16 goals last season, the question is, who do we replace that with, and do we replace it? So we've got Jay Stansfield currently at the moment. And let's be honest, we love Jay. He works his socks off, works hard for the team, creating space and with the press and stuff like that, but he's never going to get you 20 goals. Season, I don't think. Last season scored, good number of goals, but a lot of them were penalties, weren't they? Let's be honest. So I don't think it's his game, and I'm not going to criticise Jay. I absolutely love him. I absolutely love him. He's one of my favourite players. So don't think that I'm hating on him, because that's just not the case. But we've got obviously Lyndon Dykes again. Hard working, different option. For Chris Davies. He's a handful. Do you know what I mean? He's a target man. He can hold the ball. He can play in the 10. So he's quite adaptive in that. So, but again, wherever he's been, he's not been prolific. Do you know what I mean? And I think if we're going to mount a serious charge on the Championship, we need a 20 goal a season striker, don't we? Kyogo, obviously, we don't know what he's going to bring. If he can recreate the form from Celtic, then he's going to be electric, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? But Rennes, he didn't really score a lot, but I think they were using him in different ways, and maybe not in favour with the manager and these plans and stuff like that. So, I hope I'm wrong on that as well. So I personally think we need to bring somebody in. So there's been lots of rumours flying around. I don't know how true they are, but the ones that seem to be getting the most press at the moment, I think that's getting people excited. With these three. So we've got Hwang Hee-chan from Wolves. So he scored 22 in the Premier League in 107 appearances. He's got 28 in 86 games in the Bundesliga. So again, I don't see much of the Premier League, if I'm totally honest, because I concentrate on League One last season, Championship. I like to get familiar with players and teams and stuff like that. So not really looking above that really. But talking to a couple of Wolves fans that I work with, he was good for them. He reckons, Premier League's probably a step too far, but definitely be able to do us a job in the Championship. So we'll have to see if that one comes off. Then next we've got Marvin Duckscher. He got 71 goals in 138 Bundesliga 2 appearances, and then 34 in 130 top flight Bundesliga games. So again, his highlight reel looks quite good. He scores all manner of goals. He looks a bit of a handful as well. So, so we'll have to see what comes of that one. The one that everyone's talking about that's literally set fire to social media is Mitrovic. So if we're talking about a serious challenge on the Championship, then you look no further than probably one of the greatest Championship goal scorers, especially in recent times, is Mitrovic. So, 38 goals in 129 Premier League appearances, 85 in 126 Championship games. Moving on into Saudi, 47 in 51 games. And I know the standard's rubbish, but he's still firing in the net, isn't he, at the end of the day? And then there was a stint in the Belgian League when he got 27 in 50 games. So, the guy knows where the net is. And if we're honest, when he was at Fulham, in the Championship, he was just absolute goal monster, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? So, and I think with the team that we've got, if we pair that up front with somebody who knows where the net is, he's going to get you 20 plus goals, if not more. Do you know what I mean? So he's got crazy stats. The only question mark for me with Mitrovic is his attitude. So I think he fell out with Scott Parker. I think there was something with Marco Silva as well, but I can't remember, to be honest. But there was definitely a falling out with Scotty Parker. And I just wonder if, Davis takes no prisoners, really. You can tell that in his interviews and stuff like that. So, is he the right fit for the group? Do you know what I mean? So he's going to command a lot of wages, I think, coming across from there. What's your thoughts on this then, Alfie? So, what's your thoughts on Hwang Hee-chan from Wolves?
I don't really saw much of him. I think he'll just come in and take May's space, probably play, give us something when he comes off the bench later in the game.
So you think more of a squad type player, but
yeah.
I think if we get any of these three though, we're going to be paying big money for them. So I think there'll be pressure to play. Do you know what I mean? And these players, if they're dropping down into the championships, they're going to want to play. I don't think they're going to be on the bench. So, so out of 10, rate the rumour. So 10 being, really possible. You think there's truth in it, and 1 being it's not happening.
I think 6.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, what you're saying about Marvin Duksha then? I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Maybe like a 3 or something, because we want to improve the attack, and he don't really know where the net is. Or I don't know if his assists are good or not.
I mean, there's a fair few goals in his game. I mean, in the Bundesliga top flight, his record's not brilliant, and obviously Bundesliga 2, the standard is going to be, a lot different, isn't it? So you think 3 out of 10 on that one? So that's you don't fancy that one, no. Mitrovic then. So what are you thinking? What's the truth in the rumour?
Like maybe like a 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
So you reckon that's a possibility?
Well, yeah, because I think if Blues want to challenge for like top 6 in the championship, we've got to get players who have done it. And being honest, I say like 8 because of if his attitude's not great, he'll just find himself on the bench. You know what I mean? Yeah, I
know what you're saying. I mean, Tom Wagner has said that he wants to make a statement signing every season, doesn't he? Every window, and that's a hell of a statement, isn't it? I think that's going to send shockwaves through the championship for certain. So, and Davis has already said that there's more transfer activity. If I'm honest, I thought the 7 players that come in, I thought if we added Ben Davis to that, I thought that was us done. Do you know what I mean? You'd be quite happy with that. But it's just mad, isn't it? Blue Noses. I mean, you think past transfer windows, we were getting excited about Ollie Burke and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's just phenomenal where the club is at the moment. So it's certainly exciting, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I just hope that we don't spoil the group. Do you know what I mean? By bringing in the wrong characters, because they got it nailed on, didn't they? I mean, look all the players they brought in to mount a serious charge on League One, and it worked. Are the club doing the same? So we've brought 7 players in, maybe 8, maybe 9 in again. Do you know what I mean? Which changes the dynamic of the squad yet again, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So and it's like what we're saying about Alfie May before. We're gutted, but they always say don't fall in love with players because they just come and go, don't they? Do you know what I mean? And I think there's going to be a lot of changes, Blue Nose, and there's going to be some, fan favourites that sometimes, are probably going to, leave. Do you know what I mean? Because the progress of the club and the, the direction that they're going in, they're not waiting around for anybody, are they? Do you know what I mean? So, so just last thing to talk about is the release of the away kit. So it's a shame it got leaked by Sports Direct, so we're hearing. I think one of the staff had put it out and took a picture of it out in the back room, so I don't think it was put out on the shelves. But again, I don't know what to believe social media these days, do you? So it's growing on me, I'll be honest. When I first seen it, I thought, oh, come on, we could have done a little bit more, something a little bit different. I think the undefeated graphic or the print, with the outline round it, looked a little bit cartoony. But I can see the appeal. Do you know what I mean? I can definitely see the appeal. Now I've seen it in a full kit form, and the pictures with Damari Gray and Kyogo in the kit. I think it looks really good. Do you know what I mean? I think it looks really good. I think it's better than the Sequoia one from last season for definite. So I mean, you'll probably definitely buy it anyway, won't you? Do you know what I mean? So, and I know it's a bit of a nod to the Small Leaf Alliance. The anniversary kits seem to have the sash across, don't they? So I think we all expected that to happen. My personal thoughts is I think the third kit will be like the Belgian flag colours, you know, the black, yellow and red, like the last anniversary one. So, you know, will remains to be seen on that. So, you know, what's your thoughts on that, on the kit?
I like it idea. I thought when I first saw it, like the AI ones, I was like, I don't think we've done that well. But now seeing it on the players, it's like this one. I didn't like it first, but seeing the photo shoot of the players, I think it's nice now.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks good. It is growing on me, and I know there's been mixed thoughts on it on social media and stuff like that. So, so yeah, that's just a little video from us guys, just a little catch up on everything that's gone on this week. So, you know, I think the way the club is at the moment, we'll probably do, you know, absorb the information and take a moment to digest it, and then share our thoughts on it and do little videos when we collect, you know, some information. You know, so yeah, so if you like what we're doing, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, you know, comment. Like I say, we're only doing this as a bit of fun, do you know what I mean? This is more for us than anything else. But if you like it, then brilliant, do you know what I mean? You know, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.